Wow, I'm actually in this VFX graph. So what is VFX graph? It's Unity's system for creating particles, and this is a particle system using lines and particles at the moment, but the input that it's using to create those particles is from the Azure Kinect camera, which I've been playing with, which is a depth sensing camera. So you should be able to make out my figure, my lovely figure here in front of me. If I move around it, this is obviously all in VR, so I can move through this system, through the particles, have a look at it from behind. So that's actually me, that bit there. And I'm right in the middle of it now. That's pretty cool. But that's me there, generated from the cameras, basically shooting infrared out and then getting the data back as to where things are in the room in 3D in depth. And it's then using that point system, that point data, to generate these particles here. It's hard to make me out. Also, I can see that my head is really low, so that's the top of my head here. So I need to move everything up. If I move forward and if I move back, what we need to do is add some more particles to this so we can see what's going on. I also don't need the rest of the room, so if I can try and work out how to reduce the depth so it just captures me in this space and ignores all the background stuff, then I can do something a bit more interesting. Plus the performance will be a lot better as well, because it won't be having to calculate everything. So I'll have a little tinker and see if I can do that. I also need to move everything up. I wonder if it's just because the whole game object is too low in the scene. Maybe if I just move the whole thing up. Anyway, that's a good first stab at this little experiment. I think it needs to be darker as well, so we can see these particles. I could probably try and make them a little bit more brighter as well, I think. Anyway, let's see what we can do. But look, there's me. Hello, me. These are volumetric voxels. So I can go in here and move around. So basically, yeah, what I need to do is get rid of the background stuff. I need to stop it from processing everything after this point here. So everything past here should be ignored. And then what I'll have is the depth data just for me in the middle of my office here. You could see the one in the middle there was my head as well. Okay, so what I want to do as well is, as soon as I do that, performance should be a lot better for a start. But then what I could start playing with is using less of these voxels, try and reduce the number, but also try and make them have some physics, so I can maybe grab them and interact with them as they come out here. That would be very heavy though and expensive processor wise. So yeah, I'll have to just see how that turns out. But it looks really cool. Look at that, that's brilliant. Wow. This is all running on the high definition render pipeline. There's it from the back. After some experimenting, tinkering, I've reduced the depth that the Kinect camera is capturing. So it's not got all the background stuff. Unfortunately, it's still capturing a few sort of artifacts of things in the room around me, like the lampshade up there and the beams, wooden beams in my office. There's probably a way that I can stop that. I don't know, maybe in the VFX graph there's a way to reduce the points that it's using. The map, it creates like an image map of the point data, and uses that to then map out the position of objects within the graph. So possibly can reduce that image map, maybe, to mask out this stuff, because what I really want is just to have my data. I don't know why it's cut me off at the lower legs here. I think the camera would need to be pointing a bit more down to get my feet. What I might try and do is actually put me in a kind of cube, to place a cube around this, around the VFX graph, and if in fact with the voxels as well, I could add some physics to it, so the voxels collide off the edges of the cube. That might be quite interesting. Create some kind of swarm effects and stuff. Anyway, it's looking pretty cool, isn't it? These voxels, if I go right into it as well, it'd be great if I could add physics and actually interact with these cubes as they come out and bash them about. Maybe they just fall to the ground, so they're spawned and then they influenced by gravity. I have to reduce the resolution a little bit, I think, otherwise it'll be really processor intensive. So yeah, there you go. It's using the depth data from the Kinect. I just knocked the lampshade. Just go around the back. Go inside of it a bit. Follow it out. I've got a teleport on this VR system as well. Hang on. Yeah, there you go. So I can teleport into it. And they've got these particles as well. Is it me, or has those particles just suddenly randomly appeared? They weren't active before. They must have been on, but not active. Wow, now that's looking cool. Oh yeah, this is more like it. I think it's starting to struggle though. Processor. It's getting a little bit jittery and a little bit of motion sickness going on. Look at it from a distance. Wow. Let's go over here and look at it from this angle, which is more front on. Let's move around a bit. My legs up. Oh, get out of the way. These particles are just flying around all over the place. It's really good. The performance is actually not too bad considering what's going on here. It's no way it's not running natively on the Quest. This is all definitely PC VR. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's holding up. Got a little bit jittery, but not too bad. Gonna take my headset off.